Hey everyone, it's Matt from Creative Reviews. Today we're taking a very quick experience review on Windows 8 Pro running on a non-touchscreen laptop. This one, again, if you don't remember, is the Sony Vaio Z series laptop. Prior to this being January 9th, 2013, I've had problems, and problems specifically with the Windows 8 portion of the device. Now, just to be more specific, that means gestures and tiles on the Metro layout here. I couldn't click on anything, nothing was working. I did fix that. I had certain updates that weren't updating, they weren't catching. I had to go around and eventually got those updates installed, so everything is back to normal. But what I've done in the meantime is I've also cleaned out my tiles. I've gotten rid of all the garbage which I don't want to see. I want to hope that that'll make this computer run a little bit cooler, because as I'm doing a lot of things, just looking on the internet for videos, doing simple things, the fan has started coming on. And that's not something I liked. And for a little bit, I thought the computer was going bad itself just by running Windows 8, because of course I had these problems before, but I got those updates installed, the gestures have returned, and now I can continue working with this operating system on this computer, showing you more of my experience review. But regardless of the problems being gone, I'm still not content with this that much at all. To go on what I've said before, having Windows 8 Pro in the Metro, in this, whatever's going on right here, and then with the gestures, with a mouse or a trackpad, they do not work. They do not work like they should if you were to use your finger to do things, which this is honestly what it should be made for. When I move my finger here, it should pop out this. Here, when I move my mouse, this is the same thing that would happen, and I should be able to click on certain things here. But of course, I have to drag the mouse all the way up to the right, and then drag it all the way down to whatever I want to choose. And of course, when the gestures weren't working last week, I had to go back and just hope and randomly click at this to make it work. And I had to do hard resets on my computer, which they don't technically hurt it, but it's of course something you don't want to do on your laptop. I couldn't even reach the power button to turn it off, or I couldn't reach the change PC settings, which is something I definitely had to do to find these updates. But after doing a lot of poking around, I got that fixed up. But still, I'm sticking on that the tiles are not something you should have on a non-touchscreen device. I honestly think that Windows 7 should have been kept and improved, and should be used for people who work on, business and more traditional things with their keyboard. And of course, keep maybe Windows 8, maybe call it Windows 8, or maybe call it Windows RT or something, and just keep it like this. I know there's a Surface RT device, and I think that's fine. Of course, you can open up Word and little simple programs like this, but honestly, whenever I do my work, this is what I work with. I just go to my desktop, I have my few programs here, I pull up the internet from here as well, because it's a lot easier to work with. Because if I go to the Internet Explorer here, I have to first right-click to bring anything up on my tabs, and then I have to go all the way down here, drag the mouse, and then type in anything I want to do. Now, on the desktop, it's different. Everything is up at the top. Everything is right here. If I want to open up a new tab, I click that. If I want to type in something here, I click that. If I want to see my history, it's right in the corner. And everybody knows how to use this. Honestly, they're creating a new operating system and mixing it in. Remember, there is no start bar in the corner here, so you don't have easy access to anything you want. You have to go up here and you have to search something that should not be done. The more I use this, and I've been using this for a while, since it was released, I believe, in mid-October, or the end of October of last year, 2012, I've been trying, but honestly, I find myself going back to the desktop all the time. I've cleaned out my tiles. I want this to run a lot cooler, because the fan is going all the time when I'm looking at a video on YouTube or streaming anything, or even just playing around on iTunes. It's not something that should be done. I really want Microsoft to, I hope somebody hears this, and to update this, to change. Unfortunately, they can't scrap this and go back and release Windows 9 and have a whole new operating system. But they need to do something, because they're going to lose a lot of people. I've had a lot of people tell me how ridiculous that is. People will come over and just see me working on my laptop when I don't have my iPad, see how ridiculous it is that I go back and forth and still use the desktop when I could have just kept Windows 7 and had the desktop. Doesn't make any sense. It's not a good way to work with things. It was not a right choice on Microsoft. And I'll still be doing experience reviews once I get something new on here, but for the time being, bad choice on Microsoft to have this split view. I will recommend to all my friends and family and to you guys, stay with Windows 7 if you can. If you're buying a new laptop, unfortunately make sure it has touch, or else you're going to be frustrated. And in the future, imagine Windows has to work with touchscreen devices and non-touchscreen devices for the life of Windows 8. That's what they've tied themselves to, and they can't do anything else about it. So all the updates are going to be split into this category. It's the same way that I kind of see with Android and their different sizes of screens and processors and all this. Of course, as you can tell, I'm in the iOS camp. I think keeping it, solid in one operating system, generally one screen size. I know the 4S and the 4 have a different screen size than the 5, and then there's the iPad mini and now the regular size iPad, but they're not as, the updates come all at once. The updates don't come sporadically like they did on Android devices. My father has an Android device. I had an Android phone, and after a year, updates stopped coming regularly, and I was stuck having a device that was old and slow, and it just wouldn't work. And similarly, my mother has an iPhone 4, still gets the regular updates, still gets improved, even though it's slower now compared to my iPhone 5. It runs all the programs it can, and it's over 2 years old now. But moving back to this is something that they need to fix. They need to find a way to fix this. They need to release a new operating system. They can't go back in time and fix this mistake. And unfortunately for Microsoft, I believe they made a mistake. I would like to know if you agree with me, if you're having problems with this. I can help you out. If you have any questions about specifically maybe getting a non-touchscreen computer running Windows, let me know. If you have a touchscreen Windows 8 device, please let me know too, because I like to see how that works, and maybe you're having a much better experience than I am. But just for the record, this is a Sony Vaio Z-Series laptop with a Core i5 processor and 128 gigabytes of storage. So if you have different specs than I do, I'm sure it's going to run differently, but please let me know. I'll put them in new videos, I'll answer your comments, and I'd like this to be a great community where we can come together here. That was my cuckoo clock. But again, this has been Matt from Creative Reviews. Follow me on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Let me know what you like and what you don't like. Do you like the cuckoo clock? I know it's kind of annoying. But that's it. I'll see you guys next time.